Hey, what's up? This is EJK, and this is going to be a video on how to pull off an unorthodox style. If you want to mix up something in your play and you have a cool idea, then this is the video on how to do it. Is my pen tool? Yeah, my pen tool's working. Alright. And also, I downloaded this VOD, so the in-game timer is 2 seconds, and it's 2:45 right now. So, whenever we need to look at a timing, we'll just be able to minus 2:45 from 2 seconds. I'm too lazy to do 2:43. So 2:45 equals 0 in game time. So we have Maru versus Solar on Dusk Towers, a very macro-oriented map. Nothing out of the ordinary happens for the first part of the game. If you were to look at this early stage of the game, you wouldn't know what was going to happen in the rest of the game. And that's one of the important things about being able to successfully pull off an unorthodox style, is that you don't want your opponent to know that you're doing something different for as long as possible. In this case, Maru opens up with a 4 Hellion drop, and he goes for a Reaper Expand. This is all very normal. We've seen Maru do this build in past TvZs, especially on this map. So to Solar, everything looks pretty ordinary, and there's no reason for him to really start to question that something is off until he starts to see things that shouldn't be there, out of place things such as having Liberators sieged up early on in the game for defense, and then of course seeing the double ports later on, which was almost denied as well. And if the important Overseer Scout was in fact denied and Solar wasn't able to see anything, he would have been in a lot of trouble, because he would have had denial of information for even longer. But just the fact that he scouted it so late, he didn't know the strategy that Maru was doing for so long, gave him a big disadvantage going in the rest of the game, because when you don't know what your opponent is doing instantly, you start to play catch up because your opponent knows what you're doing and they can follow their game plan, but you don't know what your opponent is doing. So it makes things harder, and you have to adapt on the spot as well. And you're just behind because your opponent was able to get away with things that if you had known immediately what they were doing, they might not have been able to get away with. And that's all about that's all about unorthodox strategies, is mixing up your timings and being able to get away with things you normally wouldn't be able to get away with if your opponent knew what you were doing. This is a pretty long game on Dusk Towers, but Dusk Towers does give pretty interesting games because of the way the bases are laid out. And if I had to sum up Maru's game plan in one sentence, I would say it is to essentially it's not to split the map, but it's to utilize the gold base and maintain an economic advantage throughout the entire game. As we see the game progress, I will be pointing out how the economies are matching up. Solar is a very economy-oriented player. He likes to play macro games, as evidenced as his opener. He went for a fast 3 hatch build. And Maru knows this because of the queen timing and of the general what he's been able to see with his Reaper thus far, and seeing the third base already taken as well. And so this little poke out here is a slight variation to what Maru might have done if he didn't know that Solar was doing that. So he's able to get a little bit of damage done onto the queen because he knows that Solar went for 3 hatch, and so Solar won't have a lot of links to punish being slightly on creep for a little bit. Solar's first Overlord Scout comes into Maru's base, and nothing out of the ordinary so far. We see a very standard build, the third command center going down, Viking being built, Tech Lab on a factory, Reactor on the racks. Third and fourth gas is taken slightly fast, but not really fast at all, considering you have the starport and factory making big units, gas-intensive units. And Maru is commencing with this Hellion drop. This is all looking very normal, except perhaps that Maru does not have a fast stim. But even then, that's not even, you can't really make a read based on the fact that Maru has not gotten a tech lab on his racks and made stim yet, because he is getting siege tanks, he's getting a fast third command center. He doesn't really have a use for the fast stim. Now, the first variation comes in Maru's build with the reactor on the starport and the single eBay. At first, when I was watching this, I thought that the single eBay might have been a mistake, because Maru is a bio player, and so seeing only one eBay like that, even I, like, first upon watching the game, didn't think that the double starport would be coming down. I did think that something was off, but it's just impossible to predict exactly what's going to happen next. So with unorthodox builds, you really need to capitalize on the element of surprise here. Now Maru's two starports are going down. He has the double liberators. What he's not done with the double liberators is send them out to harass. He's keeping them at home defensively to take a fast third base. He's getting a tech lab on his racks as well. So the first small thing that Solar might be able to notice before his Overseer Scout sees the double ports is that Maru has two liberators at home this early on in the game. And upon seeing the tech lab for the siege tanks, it's very questionable to wonder why you would have the liberators at home like this, and why you'd be in such a defensive position, especially someone like Maru, who likes to play very aggressively. But this is all stuff that we can kind of observe as the game unfolds. For someone like Solar, you don't have time to think about these kind of things throughout the game. That Ling getting denied means that Solar wasn't even able to see, okay, now he's going to be able to see that there are at least two Liberators. I don't think he saw the third and fourth ones. And now Maru is starting Cloak and the Banshee speed upgrade, and he's getting his double armories too. He's going into a very power-heavy phase. Solar, on the other hand, I paused the game just because I wanted to use the pen tool, obviously. Okay, the pen tool's not working. Pen tool is working. Alright, so what we have here on the production tab so far, it's about, let's see, it's 9 minutes and 25 seconds, so minus 245, 27, so it's about like 7-ish minutes in the game. I don't want to be too exact because I don't want to embarrass myself doing math. So it's about 7-ish minutes in the game, and we see Solar is going for a very normal style. He's got 1-1 research, and he's got Baneling speed going on, and he's also got the Spire going down, his macro hatch, and he's taking his fourth base at a pretty normal time. And he's also making an Overseer as well. Based on the timing of the Spire, he started it right when Lair finished, and the fact that an Overseer just started now, Solar is starting to, like, what's going through his head right now is he's starting to realize that, hey, something is off. Maru has not harassed me besides the Hellion harass, and this is Maru. He's very aggressive. He's playing so defensively. Something weird is off. So Solar's first instinct is to make an Overseer and scout Maru's base to see what's up, because already something seems off. Now, however, Solar has already committed a lot of his army. Like, Maru, right now, Maru has a pretty big advantage because Solar has committed a lot of his army to Zerglings and Banelings, as we see over here. And Solar doesn't have good upgrades for whatever he wants to make against Banshees and Liberators. Obviously, +1 melee attack isn't going to do much in straight-up engagements. So Solar is just kind of playing standard, whereas Maru has had a lot of time to really power up all of these important things, the double armory, the double Banshee production, and the Banshee upgrades as well, with little to no punishment either. Because Solar doesn't know what Maru's doing. So if this Overseer Scout did not get in, like it sees all of this right now, if it didn't get in and see the starports, which it very well couldn't have, then Solar wouldn't have immediately started +1 attack, and he wouldn't have started his Rogue Schworn either. And he really should have canceled Baneling Speed, but I don't believe he ends up canceling Baneling Speed. What he does end up doing is he immediately starts to build up a bunch more drones, and he takes his 5th base accordingly because he's now playing against mech style. And he doesn't make any Mutalisks, he makes Corruptors instead. Oh, I believe, yeah, Solar did cancel Baneling Speed now, so good play by him. I wasn't sure if he canceled it or not. And he's starting +1 flyer carapace for his Corruptors as well. So immediately we see all of these things Solar has done to his gameplay to change up what he's doing. But Maru has already taken a pretty big advantage in this game because he's been able to get away with a lot of, I guess, just the element of the unknown. And now Maru is taking this this very fast gold base. And again, it's playing on the element of surprise. Solar doesn't know that Maru is going to do something like this, taking the gold base. So he's not going to recognize that Maru expanded there immediately and be able to react and punish it, or just make better informed decisions. So Solar is essentially operating on incomplete decision or incomplete information when he's making all of his decisions. Maru doing a very nice little timing. He waits until Banshee speed is finished before harassing with the 4 Banshees. It takes 2 rounds of Banshee production for Banshee speed to finish. So that's why Maru has the 4 Banshees. And so one of the cool things that Maru is doing, he's using the map to take this gold base. It's very, why is my pen tool not working? Oh my gosh. But it's basically very, really. There we go. Gosh, it's kind of buggy with VLC compared to doing it via Twitch. So basically what's happening here is this is a very smart base to take. Maru is utilizing this air path so that he can quickly defend both of these bases against Solar's attacks with relative ease by using the air position. And he also is able to, if Solar chooses to attack here, his army's going to be over here. And that allows Maru to take this base with less pressure because of how far away the bases are. If Solar's attacking over here, he's not going to have that much stuff pressuring this side of the map. So like these bases as well. I really like this pen tool. Alright, so let's continue. Solar's decision to combat Maru's Sky Terran is to go for big Corruptor army, and to work his way up to Vipers and Broodlords. It's not a bad decision. It's definitely better than what he was doing before, going just Muta Baneling into Ultralisks. However, I do not think that this is not the best reaction by him. And also right now I want to point out that Solar is on 5 bases, Maru is on 5 bases as well. And Maru is starting 2-2 on his air. Solar is only at 1-0. I believe. He might be at 1-1, but I'm pretty sure he's at 1-0, or 0-1 I mean, with his air. He only got the flyer carapace. So Maru has an economic advantage because he's even bases with the Zerg, and one of his bases is even a gold base. He has an army advantage because he's been able to produce higher tech units for a longer period of time. Maru started producing the Banshees, or the Sky Army, long before Solar started to produce his Corruptors and his army. And the economic advantage, the army advantage, oh, and the upgrade advantage as well. So now Solar is aware that Maru has taken this base, and he's going to be trying to pressure it, and we see Maru being able to quickly lift up a siege tank to help defend this fourth base. Solar very barely almost is able to kill the base. Kind of a spoiler alert, but he does attack it pretty soon. It's a bit unfortunate that he didn't. I mean, it could have gone both ways, but I think for him to have killed the base would have only put him in a maybe an even position, still slightly behind, but right now he's fairly far behind. The Liberator is not really doing anything in siege mode because of the Ling Baneling army. The Banelings are able to get some decent connections on some of the SCVs, but aren't able to finish all of the SCVs off, and so there's still a good amount of SCVs repairing the planetary fortress that can. So the repair output is a lot higher than the DPS from the Lings and the Roaches, and Maru is able to hold that base. A bit unfortunate for Solar. Now Maru is taking his 6th base, whereas Solar is also taking his 6th base as well. So even on bases still, that means Maru is pretty far ahead in economy. Maru has also gone up to, he's going to be up to about 88 SCVs, which is a pretty crazy number. But when you are 1430, so about like 10, was that 12, 11 minutes and 45 seconds into the game, your main base and your natural haven't mined out yet, and when you're on 6 bases, you need a lot of SCVs to be able to maintain your gas income on all 6 bases and to be able to maintain a decent mineral income as well. So as we progress into the later stages of this game, we see that Solar has chosen the decision that Solar has made with his army is he's relying on Vipers and Corruptors. Now he has a pretty decent economy to make like one army, at least one Deathball army, and so does Maru. Now Maru has the advantage because he is doing the unorthodox strategy that he's able to have more of this game mapped out than Solar currently has, and by that I mean, oh, and Maru has the building armor now, so now the Lings and the Roaches do even less damage because Solar hasn't been investing in, like, those Lings are like 1-1, if that. And the Roaches are maybe like 1-1 as well against building armor, PF. That's not going to fall very fast. So Maru has, oh, what was I going to say? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, Maru has the advantage because he's doing the unorthodox build. His build has been mapped out more completely than Solar has. And we really see that reflected in the decision making. Solar isn't making bad decisions, and it doesn't look like he's playing a bad game. However, each decision he makes, or each decision he has made, and each decision he will make for the rest of the game, will be less effective than the decisions that Maru makes. Just simply because Maru has practiced this build and this style, and he's been in this kind of situation a lot more than Solar. So Maru is also utilizing the fact of him having better preparation than his opponent at what is going on in the game, and so he's able to really get more effect or more efficiency, just more effectiveness out of his practice than Solar did for practicing for this best of 1 match in Pro League. And I said before, Maru's game plan is not to split the map up, it's to deny Solar's bases and maintain an economic advantage. We see Solar with 1, 2, 3, 6 bases. Maru he's on his 7th base, so Maru's now 1 base ahead of his Zerg opponent. So all of the momentum is in Maru's favor right now. He has a very big economy and Solar does not. And Solar, at this point, there's not really much he can do economy-wise. He's going to have to win the game by taking very good engagements. And that's not going to be very good for him because Maru has practiced this before. He knows what to look out for. He knows the important parts of microing the Viking Liberator fleet, like what he needs to do in order to win battles and what kind of units he needs to make against Solar's units to be able to win the engagements as well. So at this point, both players at 200-200, but it's almost safe to say that Solar has lost the game before this fight has even occurred. This nice Banshee counterattack coming into play. Maru knows that Solar's Corruptor Broodlord army is a very deathballish army and needs to stick together. So Maru is able to do a lot of counter damage while this battle is going on. And notice how Maru is not even all of those... Damn it, the stupid pen tool. All of these... Something is really wrong with this. Well, that's odd. Well, weird. I'll have to figure that out for next time. But all of these what's it called? No, not Blinding Cloud. The Parasitic Bomb. All of these units, Maru isn't even microing them apart. He's just leaving them together. That's how much he knows he's won this fight, because of how he's controlling his units. So before, I'll just like rewind that slightly so you guys can see that in fast motion. All the parasitic bombs go off, and Maru doesn't even really bother to split his units because of how... And like, he's even clumping up all those liberators into that one parasitic bomb liberator, and it doesn't even matter. We see in the supplies, Maru comes out very far ahead, and Solar's replenishing with... Well, Maru's actually replenishing with a lot of supply as well. So Maru's economy really shining out for him, and while he was able to win the engagement, not only did he win the engagement, but he also took out Solar's 5th base and 6th base with the Banshee counterattacks. And I think this could have been prevented if Solar had additional practice against this kind of a style. By being able to have Spore Crawlers in place, he would have... the Banshees wouldn't have been able to do so much damage, but Solar had a very spotty Spore Crawler coverage, and as a result, Maru found some weak spots in Solar's anti-air defense and was able to pick off those bases relatively easily. Now the game is pretty much over at this point because Maru is leading in both economy and he's just leading in every aspect of the game. And the next step for him is to remax on Bio. We see the Stim starting and 1-1 starting as well. But in reality, Maru could remax on basically anything and still win. He could just make pure battle cruisers. He can make a bunch of Cyclones and Hellions. He doesn't even have to make Marines. He can make like a bunch of Marauders or just Siege Tanks, even Thors. It doesn't really matter what he makes, just that when he makes it, he's just going to have more stuff than Solar, because Solar is out of money now. It's about like 245, so it's about 17. It's about like 17 minutes into the game right now, and so your main base, your natural, they're gonna be basically mined out. Your third's about to be mined out as well at 17 minutes in the game. So Solar was really relying on the fresh bases to keep him going, but this is his last army, and Maru again not even bothering to split with any of his units, just microing the Liberators forward to make sure they maximize their splash damage on the Corruptors, and Maru's able to take a very, very easy fight here, and good game is called shortly. So Maru's showing us how to get away with an unorthodox strategy. It really comes down to having better preparation by doing something your opponent doesn't have a lot of practice with, and also making sure your opponent doesn't figure out what you're doing until as late as possible as well. And GG. I'll have to fix the pen thing, though. That's kind of annoying. Good thing I didn't have to use it that much in this video.